From Zero to Strength. Episode 4. Pain Turned into Power. Chapter 1. The Weight of Yesterday. Jason Miller was 26 years old. He lived in a small town in Ohio. The town was quiet. Not many people moved there. Not many people left. Jason worked at a small auto repair shop. Every day looked the same. He woke up at 6:30 a.m. He drank black coffee. He drove his old gray car to work. He fixed engines. He came home tired. He watched TV. He went to sleep. On the outside, his life looked normal, but inside, he felt empty. 3 years ago, Jason had a dream. He wanted to become a firefighter. He wanted to help people. He wanted to feel strong and brave. He trained hard. He ran every morning. He lifted weights at a small local gym. He studied for the test. But the day of the final physical exam changed everything. He failed. It was not a small failure. It was a big one. He injured his knee during the test. He could not finish. He watched other candidates pass. He stood there with pain in his leg and pain in his heart. The doctor told him, "You need surgery, and recovery will take time." Time. Jason did not want time. He wanted his dream. After surgery, he stayed home for months. He could not run. He could not train. He felt weak. He felt useless. Friends stopped calling as much. Life moved on without him. One evening, he looked at himself in the mirror. He saw a man who had given up. "I am not strong," he said quietly. "I am not enough." Those words stayed in his head for years. At work, he smiled, but inside, he carried shame. Every time he saw a fire truck drive through town, his chest felt tight. He thought, "That could have been me." Pain became his quiet partner. Not loud, not dramatic, just heavy. One Saturday morning, something small happened, but small things can change everything. Jason was cleaning the shop floor. An older man walked in. His name was Mr. Thompson. He was in his late 60s. He walked slowly, but stood straight. His car had a small problem. Jason fixed it quickly. When he handed back the keys, Mr. Thompson looked at him and said, "You look like a man who carries too much weight." Jason felt surprised. "What do you mean?" he asked. "I mean, not in your body," the old man said, with a soft smile. "In your eyes." Jason did not answer. Mr. Thompson continued, "I was in the army when I was young. I lost my best friend in training. For years I carried guilt. I thought it was my fault. But one day I understood something important." Jason listened. Pain can break you, or it can build you, but you must choose. Choose. Jason had never thought about it that way. Pain felt like something that controlled him. That night he could not sleep. He kept hearing the words, "Pain can break you, or it can build you." He opened his old training notebook. Dust covered it. Inside were his old workout plans, his running times, his goals. He touched the pages slowly. His knee still hurt sometimes, but the doctor had said he could train again, slowly. The real injury was not in his knee, it was in his mind. He stood up. He looked at himself in the mirror again. "I failed once," he said quietly, "but I am still here." It was not a strong statement. It was not powerful, but it was honest. The next morning he woke up at 6 a.m., not because he had to, but because he chose to. He walked outside. The air was cold. The town was quiet. He did not run, not yet. He just walked. 1 block, then 2. His knee felt tight. His chest felt nervous. But something else was there too. Hope. It was small, but it was real. Jason did not know if he would ever become a firefighter. He did not know if he would pass the test again. He did not know if he would fail. But for the first time in 3 years, he felt movement. Pain was still there, but now it felt different. It was no longer just a weight. It was a beginning. Chapter 2. Turning Pain into Discipline. Jason continued to walk every morning. At first, it was only 10 minutes, then 15, then 20. His knee felt weak, but not broken. The doctor had told him, move slowly, build strength step by step. Jason decided to follow that advice. No rushing, no proving anything to anyone. The first week was hard. He felt tired quickly. His breathing was heavy. He compared himself to the man he used to be. Before the injury, he could run 5 miles. Now, walking 1 mile felt long. But this time, he did not say, I am not enough. He said, I am starting again. Those words changed something inside him. After 2 weeks, he started light jogging, only short distances, only when his knee felt ready. Some mornings were good, some mornings were painful. On bad mornings, he wanted to stay in bed. One cold morning, rain hit his window. The sky was gray. His body felt heavy. He looked at the clock, 5:59 a.m. He had a choice, stay warm in bed or get up. He remembered Mr. Thompson's words, pain can break you or it can build you. Jason slowly sat up. He put on his running shoes. Outside, the street was empty. Rain touched his face. It was uncomfortable. But every step felt like a decision. Not a big decision, just one small step. At work, something changed too. He started arriving earlier. He cleaned his tools carefully. He paid attention to details. His boss noticed. You seem different, his boss said one afternoon. More focused. Jason smiled. I'm working on something, he answered. He did not explain everything. It was still personal, still fragile. One evening, he saw a flyer at the local community center. It said, Fire Department Physical Test, Open Applications, 4 months away. His heart started beating faster. 4 months. Before, that would have scared him. Now it felt like a goal. He took a photo of the flyer with his phone. That night, he made a plan. Not a dream, a plan. Monday, strength training. Tuesday, light run. Wednesday, rest and stretching. Thursday, upper body training. Friday, endurance. Saturday, balance and mobility. Sunday, rest. He wrote everything down. Discipline replaced doubt. The first month was slow but steady. His knee became stronger. His breathing improved. His arms felt more powerful. But not everything was easy. One afternoon at the gym, he tried to lift a heavy weight too fast. His knee hurt sharply. Fear rushed into his chest. What if it happens again, he thought. What if I fail again? He sat down. Sweat on his face, heart racing. Old thoughts came back. You are not strong enough. You will fail. You already failed once. He closed his eyes. Then he remembered something new he had learned. Pain is information. It is not a stop sign. It is a teacher. He lowered the weight. He slowed down. He changed his exercise. Smart, not proud. That day he understood something important. Strength is not about pushing until you break. It is about knowing when to push and when to pause. Weeks passed. His body changed, but more importantly, his mind changed. He stopped comparing himself to others. He stopped looking at old photos of his past shape. He focused only on today. One morning, during a longer run, something happened. He was running through the park. The sun was rising. The air was cool. Suddenly, he realized he was not thinking about pain. He was not thinking about failure. He was just running. Step, breath, step, breath. For the first time in years, he felt free. Tears came to his eyes, not because he was sad, but because he understood. He was not trying to become the old Jason. He was becoming a new one. A stronger one. A wiser one. Later that week, he met Mr. Thompson again at the shop. "You look lighter," the older man said. Jason smiled. "I decided to let pain build me." The older man nodded slowly. "That's the only way forward." 3 months passed. The test date was close. Jason felt nervous, but this time his nervousness felt different. It was not fear, it was energy. He had done the work, every early morning, every careful stretch, every disciplined choice. He stood in front of the mirror again one night. "I am ready," he said. Not perfect, not guaranteed to win, but ready. Pain had not disappeared, it had changed shape. It became discipline, it became focus, it became power. And Jason understood something simple. Failure was not the end of his story. It was the beginning of his strength. Chapter 3. The Fire Inside. The morning of the test arrived. Jason woke up before his alarm. 4:45 a.m. The room was dark and quiet. His heart was beating fast, but not from fear. It felt like energy moving inside him. He sat on the edge of his bed. 3 years ago, he had sat like this too, but that morning, long ago, he felt doubt. Today, he felt calm. Not because he knew he would win, but because he knew he had grown. He dressed slowly. Simple gray t-shirt, black training shorts, his running shoes. He looked at his knee, a small scar from surgery. He touched it gently. "That pain built me," he whispered. Outside, the sky was turning light blue. The town was waking up. Jason drove to the training center. When he arrived, he saw other candidates. Strong men, serious faces, focused eyes. For a second, comparison tried to enter his mind. They look stronger, they look faster. But he stopped that thought. "This is my path," he told himself. The test began. Thirst, endurance run. The whistle blew. Jason started steady, not too fast, not too slow. He remembered his early mornings, the rain, the cold air, the lonely streets. Step, breath, step, breath. Halfway through, his knee felt tight. Not sharp pain, just pressure. Old fear knocked again. What if it fails? But he answered quickly inside his mind. "I am stronger now." He adjusted his pace. He stayed focused. When he crossed the finish line, he was tired, but he was standing strong. Next, strength test. Carrying heavy equipment, pulling weight, climbing stairs. His arms burned, his lungs felt hot. At one station, he had to carry a heavy hose up a set of stairs. Each step felt heavy. Halfway up, his legs shook. 3 years ago, this was where he fell. He could see the memory clearly, the fall, the pain, the shame. This time, he paused for 1 second, not in fear, in focus. He took one deep breath. "This pain is power," he said inside. Then he climbed, one step, then another. He reached the top. When the final whistle blew, Jason stood still. Sweat covered his face. His chest moved up and down quickly. He did not know the result yet, but something was different. He felt proud, not because he was perfect, but because he did not quit. The results were announced 1 hour later. Candidates stood in a line. The officer read names. Jason Miller. Jason lifted his head. Passed. The word felt simple, but it carried years of pain inside it. Passed. He closed his eyes for a moment. He did not shout. He did not jump. He just breathed. Pain had not destroyed him. It had shaped him. Later that evening, Jason walked through town. The same streets, the same houses. But he felt different. He understood something important. Strength is not born in comfort. It is born in struggle. Pain had been his teacher. Failure had been his training. Discipline had been his bridge. He stopped near the park where he used to run alone. The sun was setting. He thought about the man he was 3 years ago. Broken, ashamed, quiet. If he could speak to that version of himself, he would say, "You are not finished. This pain is not your enemy. It is your fire." Jason did not just pass a test that day. He rebuilt himself. Weeks later, he began official firefighter training. It was hard. Long days, heavy equipment, serious responsibility. But now, when things felt difficult, he did not think, "This is too much." He thought, "This is building me." His pain had turned into power, and the most important change was not in his body. It was in his belief. He believed in himself, not because life was easy, but because he survived when it was not. If you are listening to this story right now, remember this. Your pain can be your prison, or it can be your training. The choice is yours. Jason chose growth. He chose discipline. He chose to rise again. And so can you. Did you enjoy this episode? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check the full playlist to watch the whole series and improve your English.